Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today I'm doing a brief summary of what is taking place at this live podcast with Carlos King in Huntsville, Alabama, as we speak, with Melody, Shari. A lot of smoke and mirrors. I'm going to get to kind of the highlights. Shout out to those who are boots on the ground. Shout out to those of you who are providing us the information and all the things. There is something I'm debating on whether or not I want to upload, because it was commented that like the Love and Marriage Huntsville cameras were there. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to do that. But I'm going to give you guys a quick summary, at least from the information that I heard. That was very alarming. So, you know, pretty much when I came in, I was listening in, and Carlos was talking about how he was, quote, disappointed in the comments that Martell made in that Instagram post, and said that, wanted to reiterate that the show is not scripted, and he can't speak for other reality shows, but Love and Marriage Huntsville isn't scripted, and was disappointed because, he is the one, him and Mel are the ones that, came to him about this show idea, and for him to now come back and say that there was acting was some BS. And so then Mel was saying, how could it be, fake, or producer telling you to bring me flowers if you just sent me, 12 dozen flowers like a month or two prior to that? So, and then I think also, Mel was really trying to speak on what was happening. She was trying to tell Carlos King, she said, all of this, everybody keeps funding the chaos that is Martell and his side chick. And Mel was even referencing times where the side chick would go on social media and spill secrets about the show. And she would only be able to gain that information if it was from Martell, somebody actually filming. And so Mel also was telling Carlos, because he continued to defend Martell, and Mel was like, well, maybe you don't see it, but eventually you're going to see. God is going to reveal to you, who this man really is. Maybe because nothing happened to you and all this stuff has happened to me, maybe you don't see it. Maybe you're blinded by it. And so then once the Instagram post happened, and then once Martell got arrested happened, then Carlos, started to see things, but nonetheless still never said whether or not Martell was coming back for season 7. Still kind of was doing the little deflection BS nonsense. Wanted to highlight for some reason that Melody Shari is the first woman in history to be filming a reality show side by side with her ex-husband. And that's not a flex. Especially when we're talking about a volatile and unhinged ex-husband. Like, make it make sense. So Mel said that, this warrant for Martell's arrest has been out since August of last year, which we kind of speculated, and basically alluded to that Martell was trying to do something, and that's how the warrant popped up. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that in the comments on what Martell was trying to do, that the warrant came up, what your theories are on that. So a few other things. Mel did say, the reason why she was done with Martell. She said she wanted better for her kids. She said it wasn't about whether or not she is involved romantically ever again with a man. Then Martell would always try to gaslight and guilt trip and tell Mel that nobody's ever going to want her because she's got 4 kids and all this other stuff, and that she's not good enough. Mel also said that she was not happy with Carlos King because she felt the show did not protect her. And if it has to come to the point where Mel has to have security and have an on-scene psychologist or therapist for potential scenes with Martell, like, that's completely toxic. And she kept reiterating the reason why the millimeters exist in the first place was because Melody Shari was being bullied and isolated. And this is kind of like the same behavior that's being, that's taking place. Also Mel said that she felt that Carlos King was enjoying all of this drama, all of this chaos that's taking place, because she said she hasn't done an interview in forever,
Meanwhile, her ex-husband Martell is shouting to the rooftops to any blogger who will listen to continue to attack and malign Melody Shari. And one day their kids are going to grow up and see all this stuff that their dad keeps saying about, you know, their mom. And they're going to resent them and want nothing to do with him. That's the part he doesn't realize in his fame-seeking nonsense that he's been pulling. Also, Mel said that, she had told a lot of things in confidence to Carlos King. And, a lot of things that have never been shared publicly. Also, Carlos and Mel, I guess, behind the scenes started talking more. She said she's not sure whether or not the communication got better or not because of the reasoning of Martell recently getting arrested and Martell, of course, calling out Carlos King. Even though technically this isn't the first time that Carlos King has been called out by Martell via his significant other would call him out as well. And then also... Carlos said that he's aware of the face production, and I kind of didn't like this part because I felt he was kind of, trying to not completely take responsibility, not completely take ownership, and try to make it seem like, oh, well, after the show became so successful, I moved to LA, I wasn't the lead producer anymore, I have an amazing producer team, but I wasn't really, the main person anymore, so I didn't know any of this. And that's crap. And he was talking about how he was getting his podcast together, because if you're on YouTube and you see all of these YouTubers who talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, you see all the people who tweet about Love and Marriage Huntsville, you see all these Facebook groups that exist that discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville on the daily, you know exactly what's happening, because if you didn't know, why was it that you called Mel behind the scenes when the Revenge P stuff came out, and you called her behind the scenes when Martell got arrested? And so when Martell got arrested and Carlos King called Mel, Mel said that she wasn't, celebrating any of this. She said ultimately this is still the father of her kids. When Carlos called her, she said the first thing she wants to know is where her kids are and if her kids are safe. Because I believe that was a week that the kids were supposed to be with Martell. And so then people kept shouting in the audience whether or not the side chick is going to receive charges as well. And Melody Shari was saying, based on what was actually the issue, what actually the charges were for, that it wasn't going to be appropriate in this instance for the side chick to be receiving any charges in regards to that. Then Carlos is claiming that he wasn't aware that Melody needed him as much as she did, because she never really calls him or anything like that. Also, he kind of gives like a roundabout apology for everything Mel is going through, but she did say that, she didn't feel like she could trust Carlos. Like everything that we felt that Mel was feeling was spot on. That she felt everything that we have been saying, you guys, for how long now? For like the past, year and a half, 2 years? About all of this stuff, all of this drama that's taking place. And Carlos King, he's like shocked and all this other stuff, and now claiming that he understands, and he didn't realize that Mel took it as abandonment. And I want to say this, because I feel like Carlos King knows exactly what's happening. He knows exactly what's happening. He knows this is wrong. He knows this is chaotic. He knows this is abusive. But he is also enjoying the chaos, you guys. He is enjoying the mess, because any type of press, any type of attention means there's more attention on him. So, and it's more dollar signs, it's more attraction to people being interested in the show and what's going to take place with the show. So you fully are aware what's taking place. And you really didn't condemn Martell like I was expecting you to, which I shouldn't have expected in the first place. But nonetheless, if this was with anyone else, if this was somebody you didn't like on one of the Bravo shows, you would have dragged them for filth. But you did not do that as it pertained to Martell. And I'm just disgusted. And then I got pissed because ultimately we still don't know, whether or not Martell truly is back. Now, I know It's been said that he's filming for season 7 and that they're currently filming season 7, which Carlos King, of course, confirms. But if you guys recall, there have been times, even for this season, where Letitia's mom and both Destiny were filming scenes, we're filming different parties, we're filming the Black Expo and all those things, and never did we see them on the show. So that is a possibility, but I just don't know with this whole Martell thing. I really don't. And it just seems like Carlos doesn't care. He doesn't care. He can complain and be like, I can't believe somebody questioned my integrity and all these things. But if you're not going to fire him, what's the point? What's the point of saying anything if there is not going to be any action? And so he completely deflected, you guys. After, Mel is talking about how, hurt she was that she is put in this predicament with her ex-husband, who is, not only doing all this gaslighting and foolishness in her face, but all the stuff that he's doing behind the scenes as well, creating this toxic atmosphere both at work and off work. And all these things, and how much it was, hurting Mel that she had to go through all of this. And I thought we were really getting to, the meat and potatoes of what needed to be said. And Carlos King just completely deflected because he was caught. He was caught for enabling the foolishness, right? And so then, in the midst of this, he shouts out Stormy, because apparently Stormy's there in the audience. I don't know if she had just arrived or he had just noticed that she was there. Not sure if she was there with her husband or she was there with her mom or what. Kind of weird, but she was there. Carlos also talked about, again, how this is his favorite reunion. I don't know what he's talking about, nonetheless. We need Egypt back to host these reunions, because no. And he said he worked hard to try to make this a more lighthearted season because of all of the chaos that has been taking place the past couple of seasons. But then he wanted to switch gears. Mind you, this is supposed to be the focus on Melody Shari, you guys. He then switches gears to talk about the producer that married Destiny's ex, Moses. And, then after this portion was when I didn't hear anymore after. I'll double check to see if there's anything else that's happening and get back to you guys. But at that point, Sonny and Moses were going to go on stage to tell their truth, I guess, to tell their story, right? And my guess is probably they were together all along. But I mean, who knows, right? Who knows? But I thought this was supposed to be an event about Melody. I thought we were supposed to answer questions, like real questions about Martell. We still don't have an answer on whether or not he actually is going to be fired. And mind you, we still have yet to see what is going to come of this interview with Tasha K. So it's just all bad, you guys. It is just all bad. And I feel like our time's been wasted. I feel like Carlos uses the millimeters on purpose and uses Melody Shari Rogers on purpose because she has the largest fan base and she has, the most followers of the show, and he knows all of the attention that Mel attracts whenever he has her stuff. So like he had her speak at the award that he won. He always has Mel as his first guest. He had her as his first guest on his late night talk show, the Ripoff, Watch What Happens Live, that Andy Cohen does on Bravo. And now Mel is his first guest on this podcast tour. And a lot of times before the seasons come back, a lot of times Mel will be like the first person that, he'll do the interviews with or do on his podcast after the show airs or whatever, and then venture off into other stuff. But I'm just tired of Mel being used as a vessel, and it was the arrogance and the chaos for me of Carlos King was filming all of the people who were waiting outside to get in the freezing cold for this podcast, talking about they're there to see me and Melody. No. They're there to see Mel. They're not here to see you, Otis. They're not. They're not at all. So it was just the audacity, because if you could hear in the audience all of the times people were pissed off, it's the way Carlos was, behaving and answering in some of these questions. You could tell that, this was not, what he thought it was going to be. Because I think he thought he can come in and still try to push a narrative in front of the millimeters, and that wasn't going to fly. But hopefully they do not get too far off track with this distraction about Destiny's ex and the producer and everything else. Who cares? I thought this event was supposed to be about Melody Shari Rogers. Like, make it make sense. So there is that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. I will be back probably tomorrow, maybe. If there's anything other juicy, I'll do another video tonight. But I will probably give you guys an update tomorrow on anything else that transpires. But this was kind of the gist of what took place. Still debating on whether or not I want to post the audio that I have because I don't want to get in trouble. But nonetheless, because I have like about 40 minutes of it recorded, so that way you guys can hear for yourself. But nonetheless, that is the gist of what took place, of what I heard at least. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.